Hello and welcome to Stocks Advisor channel. Here at our channel we are looking for interesting buy opportunities for US-based stocks. Today we will talk about HUYA Incorporated, traded at New York Stock Exchange, ticker name HUYA. Well, it's interesting stock today because it has made a very interesting positive white candle, uh, resembling kind of extended um, hammer, but it's not really then hammer because it's an upwards move and starting from kind of a bottoming. So the question is, well, is it really a reversal pattern? How strong it is, and what we can expect here, and where would be the good points to buy or to sell? Well, to understand that, let's do first quickly general analysis for HUYA. Well, starting from the May, we can clearly see there are several actually like trends being formed, and one of the strongest trends that was actually confirmed last 5 trading sessions is this one, the green one. We can call it trend one, and actually now we can understand from this moment what was happening here at the action point. So it was just sitting on the trend one line and reconfirming it, trying to gain something from it. And today's action is nothing but kind of volatility upwards move. So if we look from the May, we can clearly see that the stock was actually nicely moving upwards and then moving average 200. This red line worked as a first as a very strong resist. By the way, we have here 3 moving averages depicted. Usually it's moving average 20, 50 and 200, being green, blue and red lines correspondingly. So coming back to the analysis, around 19th of May, the upwards move that started at the beginning of May was cancelled, and then we saw again reconfirmation and movement backwards towards trend one line. And here simultaneously moving average 20 and 50 were actually kind of moving together and trying to go to acceleration mode. So meaning that they're not only going up, but also their first and second derivatives overall were positive, meaning they go something like that. And indeed this was the case actually in May, June. We can clearly see the price was going up, making classical waves and using moving average 20 now as a support line. Then being in overbought area and the beginning of July, actually all the way till 20th of July, again using moving average 20 as a support, again trying to go upwards. And here, this is important moment to note, in August, there was a break of the upwards trend. And usually this is what happens when first you start accelerating mode with your moving average 20 and 50, somewhere as we observed at the beginning of June, and then your price goes up with waves, and certain moment, instead of using the major trend line as a support line, it starts using moving average 20 as a support line. This would mean that soon, not given when, but soon the breakage of the wave can start. And that's exactly what happened in August. We saw the break of the wave, and as usually first wave returns, it was broken until between moving average 20 and 50. So here, because formed also another very clear actually support line. And indeed, you are right, it's coinciding with recent action as well. So we'll come back to that. And after that, actually in August, we saw another kind of try out to continue the upwards trend, also slightly touching RSI based action. And beginning of September, again, the wave was broken. Broken wave means that it's going upwards like this and then breaks like that. So it's not fulfilling complete wave like this. And the broken wave usually means that the trend does not have enough power to finalize nicely. And usually, yeah, traders think that price is temporarily over bought and they immediately exit. So it jumps much faster than it grows. And indeed that happened actually in the beginning of September. And then we started those trying to reconfirm breakage of the trend of the upwards wave using moving average 20 here with these volatility lines. And indeed we saw the formation of downwards channel then, which was confirmed actually 2 times here. Let's call it C1, channel 1. And this channel was reconfirmed again somewhere in the middle of September here when we tried to pierce it upwards with the stock. Then further decline started. Here we used again intermediate volatility line, which can be also clearly seen at this level. We rebounced from it. Again tried to pierce C1 line, it was cancelled, and then we see a huge jump down. And that's exactly where we sit now. So we sit at the trend line 1 and we sit at the support line 1. Here the volatility, the blue line, let's call it support line 2, actually is now coinciding with moving average 20, this green line, so meaning like it might work as additional resistance. And that's exactly the action we might see here. Most probably, if you are already in the stock, well, in the position, maybe it's wise to wait. We might see upwards move until this C1 line, but without really any serious catalyst. Most probably it will be again decline because there is like double resist levels, and trend channel 1 will be confirmed again, and then second wave of correction will start. Once this is happening, this is then very strong reconfirmation to buy, because then we are going to very serious support lines, and this is this line. So let's call it S3, and should the price action indeed take this scenario, then the vicinity of S3 line will be a very nice entry point. And should that happen, this would be the very first entry point for this stock. Of course, you can say, well, another action might take with some catalyst, and catalyst is always kind of a news driven, that we would pierce C1 level and really go upwards. Once this should take place, of course, we will have another resist level here. It's this line, the previous trend. But then again, this action might take place only if we have a serious catalyst information here. Without this, R1 line most probably won't be reached, and even C1 trend won't be cut through, because technically itself it's not completely enough to do, because if you look at MACD, we are having actually 3 times downwards wave. We were not able to pierce upwards further, so most probably this small action towards C1 channel will allow to do a small positive move, and then again we go downwards. Similarly, like we saw, for example, the situation about 5th of August, the same, the trend was not strong enough to pierce and start immediate upwards move, so we had to go a little bit further down to create another additional pressure, and only then, when we did double down wave, we started actually the positive move. So this is a very interesting and classical example of this kind of fake upwards wave on the MACD. And similarly, thing could take place here, because if you look allocation of resistance supports lines, most probably it's a very strong resist, so we need a deeper support, so deeper upwards pressure to be built up to pierce it further. So the first circle would be there, the buy option, and again, not given we go further, but if this should take place on a stronger neglection correction, here we have another support line, extremely strong one, and in a rare event, if we go those levels, then it's advised to buy really strong, so to strongly average down, and then this would be the first entry point, second entry point, and we always advise to average down 1 to 2, meaning like you do first buy with 1, and then you average down with 2 portions. So either from here or from there we should lift up, and then taking off should bring us at least to C1 level. Then depending on the overall positiveness and pressure, we might even pierce C1 and then start here the volatility games, to which we will then come back later to understand what we can do here and what another interesting entries will open for HUYA stock. Having said that, now you know what to do with HUYA. Also, please do not forget subscribe to our channel. This way you will not miss our new videos, new interesting discussions, and another information about possible entry points for many US-based stocks.